Hi everyone and welcome back. Okay, so today I'm going to be reviewing the Etchr 24 half pan set of watercolours and a nice set of watercolour brushes in this really nice canvas brush roll. Etchr very kindly sent these out to me several months ago. In fact, I'm very late doing this review. I've been so caught up with other things that I just haven't had time to do it, so really looking forward to giving these a try today. So before we take a look at the watercolours, we'll just take a quick look at the brushes. Like I say, it is actually canvas or cotton material. It feels really nice quality, and we've got the Etchr logo everywhere. And we've got this set of nylon brushes here. Now I must just say as well that when I saw the email that Etchr wanted to send me some more of their products, and when I say more, they've already sent me some sketchbooks in the past, which I personally think are the best sketchbooks in the world, to be honest. Such high quality, wonderful sketchbooks. So when Etchr reached out to me again, I was super excited because I just had that instinct that what they were going to send would be good. If it's Etchr, it's going to be good, isn't it? So I was super excited to receive these. And at first glance, like I say, you just get a feel for the quality. You know, this brush roll is lovely quality. And just have a quick look at the brushes. I've not even tried them yet. I've not even taken the protective caps off the end. So we've got this kind of matte black finish on them with this orange end piece there. I can't actually tell if these are plastic or wood. Either way, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's the business end of the brush. You know, this end here, that's the important thing, and that looks like a lovely, lovely point on there. So we've got this matte black ferrule, matte black handle. We've got a size 12, and we've got a size 10, a size 8. Oops, the top's come off that one. What's this one? A size 6. And two very small little detail brushes there. A size 3 and a size 1. We've also got a couple of little flat brushes in there. Let's take a look at those. Got a 1/2 inch flat and a 3/8 flat. Oh, it's not a flat actually, it's an angled flat. Okay, that's interesting. And we've got a 1/4 inch flat. Very useful little brushes they are for doing windows and things like that. You often find that you need a small flat brush, so that's going to be nice to use. And we've also got this fan brush. Now I must say I'm not a big fan of fan brushes. This is a size 1. I do actually use a fan brush in my watercolour, but I never use these soft nylon fan brushes. I always find the stiff oil painters brushes, the stiff bristle brushes, give nicer textures and nicer effects in watercolour. But each to their own. You know, you can't please all the people all the time, so just because I'm not a big fan of these, you might well be. But apart from that, that's a really nice comprehensive set, but I would have probably liked to have seen that changed out for a rigger brush, or even a larger 1-inch flat brush would have been nice. And we've got this section here which is actually stitched. It's all sewn up there. I thought, oh, that's good, we've got a spare pocket there, but no, it's all sewn up. So what I might do, because that'll be a really useful pocket there to actually get a large flat brush or a hake brush cut down or something in there, or just generally other art materials. So I'm just wondering, actually, just looking at that now, to see if it'd be possible to actually unpick the stitching there and open that up. Yeah, that looks doable, actually, as an option for you. It's a shame it actually comes stitched up, because it would have been nice to have that, you know, as extra storage space there. But so far so good. I'm really liking what I see there. I'll be putting these in soak actually too, because you know they're coated in gum arabic and they're quite stiff, so you need to kind of just soak these for a minute just to get them active. Okay, so let's take a quick look now at the watercolours. So as with most Etchr products, or all Etchr products, I'd imagine, the packing is always first class. And we get this really nice sturdy box here that you can actually keep and store your watercolour box in here to protect it. It did actually take me a while to figure out how to open this. It looks on both ends there like you just kind of push and it slides out, and I couldn't work it out. There's no sort of obvious way to open this box, and then by accident I've suddenly found that it's actually held on magnets just there. We've got a couple of magnets behind there and on there. You can just see them poking through there actually. So it's kind of held together by magnets. I love that. I absolutely love that. That's genius. So you can keep this box as a nice storage box, you know, to keep your watercolour tin. Got a little leaflet there. We get a cloth. It's kind of like a lens polishing cloth actually, so, you know, a very fine microfiber cloth. I don't know what that's actually for. Maybe it is just a lightweight cloth to wipe your brush on, to clean your palette out with, or maybe it's, again, maybe it's protection for the watercolour set. Let's get that out and we'll take a look at that. So we get the kind of standard 24 pan or 12 hole pan style palette box there, and we get this lovely little swatch card here. You can swatch all these colours out on, and I believe that is actually watercolour paper. Yes, it says there, this is the same paper we use in our Etchr cold press sketchbooks, 100% cotton, 230 grams and vegan friendly. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So the tin itself has got no sharp edges or anything. It's nicely finished, and something else I really like about this box as well, which can be a bit of a bugbear for me with a lot of boxes like this, and that is these mixing rolls here actually sit straight. I don't know if you can see that if I hold that on the side a little bit more. Basically they're not flopping back like that. A lot of them, they just kind of tilt too far down and the washes run off of them. But you can literally, you know, there's a thumb ring underneath there, you can literally hold that if you're working at an easel or working outside or wherever, you know, and these are not going to flap down. They are perfectly usable like that. I much prefer it when a watercolour box has these kind of straight, stay in place mixing wells. And you all know these palettes. I mean, you can take this centre section out here, he says. You can. Trust me, you can. That's it. There we go. So you can take that out and you can use that for extra mixing space if you want to. And you can see there, look, you know, we've got the little thumb ring underneath. Does actually feel quite a nice box actually, a little bit sturdier than some of them that I've felt. And like I say, it's nicely finished. We've got rolled edges on there. Again, some of the boxes I've seen like this are just kind of rough cut edges there, and they're very sharp. But this is really nicely finished, and like I say, with everything that Etchr does, always nice quality. So what I'm going to do off camera is unwrap these, and we'll do a little swatch, and we'll do a bit of a deep dive into these and see if they're any good. Right, okay, so I've unwrapped all the paints there, and as you can see, they're nice and uniform, nice and glossy. I mean, they look good straight off the bat, so that's always a good sign. But are they any good? So let's give them a quick test. Now you're probably thinking, oh no, this is the part of that video where we have to sit and watch you for half an hour, swatching all of these out, talking about pigment numbers and all the rest of it. Oh no, actually, I'm going to speed all this up for you and not put you through that torture. I didn't actually pre-wet the paints, I just used them as they were. I wanted to test to see if they would dissolve nice and easily straight from the pan, and they do, so that's a great start. Okay, so now these have had time to dry, let's take a close look at them. The white, it says there is a light fast rating of 8 and it's opaque. It's not particularly, I mean it is opaque, you can see some of the white pigments over the black marker pen that I put down there. But we're not sort of in gouache territory or anything like that there. So that might be a nice useful white for glazing actually. The lemon yellow and just yellow, that Etchr are calling it, also claim to be, well, the just yellow claims to be opaque. I'm not finding that at all really with that. And the lemon yellow is claimed to be semi-transparent, which, yeah, I'd say that's fair. Now we've got, like I say, the light fast ratings here, and I went onto the Etchr website and see how they graded their light fast ratings, and they're using the blue wool scale. So basically a light fast rating of 8 is the best you can get. Basically it's light fast, you'll have no problems with that. And I've noticed all of these colours here, pretty much most of them, are either an 8 or a 7, and I think I only counted 2 which were the Rouge Red and the Prussian Blue with a light fast rating of 6. So all of, I mean, you can be quite confident that these are a light fast, set of paints there, so no worries there. And like I say, you've got all of the pigment numbers there. I'm not going to get into that at all. But there's a couple of things I'd just like to say about this. I did notice that the earth pigments, the 4 earth pigments, particularly the burnt sienna, well actually the umber brown as they're calling it was nice, strong pigmented, but the burnt sienna for some reason looks a little bit off to me. It's quite underpigmented in my opinion, and it doesn't really look like a lot of the burnt siennas that I've used. But apart from that, there's nothing wrong with it. It looks more like a raw umber to me, slightly warm raw umber more than a burnt sienna. But anyway, that's not a problem at all, because some manufacturers' pigments do vary, and that's another thing. There's a lot of single pigment mixes here. There's only a couple really that have multiple pigments mixed in there, so you can always get a few colour variations here and there throughout different manufacturers' ranges of paints. So again, it's not a problem and it's not a criticism. Now the first thing I noticed with these paints, as I mentioned earlier, I didn't wet these paints up beforehand. I just dipped the brush in the water and started scrubbing away at the paints, and I didn't really have to scrub at all. They lift off lovely, they lay down lovely. Instantly when you're using them, you can just get that feeling, oh yeah, these are okay, these are fine, nothing wrong with these. You just instantly get that feeling. Whereas some swatches that I do, even little tiny swatches like this, I can just tell that I need to kind of do larger swatches, or I need to do a painting with them to really see what's going on, because some paints just seem a little bit problematic, overly granulating, or they're not running out properly. All of these just seem to work really well. I mean, obviously we've got a really nice paper here as well, the Etchr paper to work on, so that's always going to help. But I always say, spend your money on good quality cotton paper, and if you've got to cut corners somewhere, I'd always cut corners on paints and brushes. I'd always go for a student quality paint and an artist quality paper. That would always be my preferred choice, and that's exactly what we've got here. Now Etchr do actually claim that these are, as it says there on the label, premium student series. So they're premium student grade watercolours, and I have to say that's very fair, I think, because I instantly got that impression that these are at the higher end of the student market. You can tell they're not artist quality, not by much I have to say, but to say that they are a premium student range I think is very fair of Etchr. They are really nice quality, and there's no doubt about that. And when I was on the Etchr website reading about these, there's been a lot of thought put behind these, and a lot of these paints, as Etchr claim, have been searched for worldwide, to put this set together. It's not just something they've just thrown together quickly and just thrown it out there on the marketplace and hope they sell it. There's a lot of thought gone behind this product, and again, you do get that impression of that when you're using these paints. The colours are nicely balanced, it's a nice selection of colours and good quality colours as well. Life fast rating is excellent throughout the board. So I mean, even at this stage, you've kind of got to say to yourself, well, what's not to like about these paints? Nothing. I really like them. So you're probably thinking, okay, John, come on, get on with the painting. Let's see how, how they really fare. Well, actually, I'm not going to get on with the painting in this video. This video is going to be more of a first impressions of the paints. I'm going to do another video where I do more painting with these, because I've got the perfect project lined up for these. And it's this here, in the Etchr sketchbook, again, which was kindly sent to me by Etchr quite a while ago. And I've started a project in this sketchbook of drawing and painting all of the British butterflies. Let me just make a little bit of space here and I can show you a little bit better. So I thought to myself, this set of colours is going to be perfect for this project, absolutely perfect, because I'm not really a big fan of half pans. I always go for squeezed out tubes on an open palette, or I prefer to use whole pans, so I can get bigger brushes in there and everything. But this is the sort of project which is going to suit these little half pans perfectly, because I don't need to use great big huge brushes or anything like that. So half pans will be ideal for this. So I think I've got about maybe half a dozen or so more of these illustrations to do before I actually get the watercolours out and start painting them. So once I've done that, once I've completed this sketchbook, I'm going to make another video as I'm going through painting some of these in. A lot of these already are on Patreon, well, not a lot of them, some of them are on Patreon, how I've drawn them in and everything. Like I say, I'm still working on it, and I've probably got half a dozen or 10 or so more to do. But if you're going to do a project like this, a big project like this that takes a long time to do, you don't want to mess about with sketchbooks. You want to get the best. You want to get Etchr. You want to get an Etchr sketchbook with 100% cotton paper in there. You don't want to spend all of your time drawing these out, because they do take ages to do. To find out, like I have in the past, I've done a similar project to this before on a moleskin sketchbook and virtually ruined it because the paper was garbage. But this is top quality paper, and that's why I'm redoing this project again, because I trust this paper so much. I've used it for years now, and I have 100% confidence in this. So that's why I decided to choose this sketchbook to do this project in. So I'm going to be doing more painting in that, making more videos for you, and we can talk about these paints a lot more in the future, a lot more in depth. We'll deep dive into some of these colours. You'll see them in action. Some of them I'm already looking at thinking, yeah, that's going to be right for that butterfly, that's going to be right for that. And even some of these earth pigments, which are probably slightly underpigmented, compared to an artist quality paint, I'm looking at these thinking, actually, these will be nice for light washes over, some of the butterflies here, and allowing the tones of the drawing to show through. So I think this is probably going to be the most perfect set for this type of work that I've actually got. So I'm really looking forward to actually using these paints more. Like I said, it's going to be the perfect set, I think, for this project. Half pans are ideal for these sorts of things. Now, my only bugbear, and it is my only bugbear with these paints, even though I said that these might be a little bit underpigmented, I don't even think it's a bugbear. They're not that heavily underpigmented. It's just slightly noticeable to me. Somebody else might not even notice it. But my only real bugbear with these paints is you can't get them open stock. You can't buy them individually, and that's something that's always been frustrating for me, because I've been sent sets of watercolours before where you can't buy open stock, and in some of those sets I find a colour that I really like, and I want to use it on my sort of everyday working palette, which I've sort of used for 30 years. You know, I kind of swap colours in and out on that palette, you know, as I find new colours and like them. My working palette is not a palette of all the same branded paints or even all the same quality of paints. I've got student quality, artist quality, different brands in there, and it's just a palette that's kind of evolved over 30 years, if you like, and is evolving all the time. You know, as I find new paints, I think, oh, I prefer, you know, maybe that sort of yellow ochre to the yellow ochre I'm using. I'll buy a tube of this from Etchr, but no, I can't. This is the trouble. Some manufacturers, I can understand why they just sell them as a set and they don't produce them as open stock. Because the set, you know, is cheap enough to buy. You know, if you run out of a few colours, the set is cheap enough to buy. The paints are clearly quite cheap, but these aren't. These clearly are good quality paints, and they kind of deserve to be open stock and be able to buy them individually. I mean, already at this stage, as I've swatched a few out, I'm thinking, oh, I like that. Oh, that's a really nice colour. You know, some of these oranges, really liking those at the minute. And that Prussian blue is fantastic. I really like that. Even though it's only got a light fast rating of 6, that's good enough for me. The sky blue's wonderful, as is the ocean turquoise. I think that they're going to be two popular colours in this set. And it's just a shame that I can't go and buy a tube of them, you know, to replenish these pans when I run out. And you will run out quick with half pans. But with that said, who knows, maybe that's something that Etchr are looking into. Maybe if these paints sell a lot and there's a high demand for them, maybe they might start going into production with tubes or even just individual pans. Who knows? Just a suggestion there for Etchr. And I think they should consider it really, because their products, let's face it, you know, their products are at the high end of the market. You know, they're not cheap products. Their sketchbooks, like I say, I think personally are the best you can get. These student quality paints really are at the top end of the student quality paint range. So I think it'd be a really good move for Etchr, you know, to start including open stock, you know, with their paints there. I'll leave links to these products in the description below. I'll also leave a link to a review I've done of the Etchr sketchbooks. And if you want to see more of my artwork, obviously have a look through my channel. You'll see the kind of artwork I do. And if you want to consider joining my Patreon channel, that would be fantastic. Okay, so let me know your thoughts on these. Have you tried these? What do you think to them? Leave your comments below. I always enjoy reading them. And it's nice for other viewers to read other people's opinions on these as well. Okay, so thanks for watching everyone. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.